Whether it's celebrities or influencers or some random guy spinning plates on sticks on the side of the street, the idea of parasocial relationships have always been crazy to me. I grew up in the late 90s, early 2000s, and back then it was NSYNC and Backstreet Boys, and my sister and others were obsessed with them, and then years later it became the Jonas Brothers and Justin Bieber, and then different influencers, and then Taylor Swift off and on, and now apparently she's back on, and it's just nuts. But 2 weeks ago, and I'm not somebody who covers, just as a disclaimer, I'm not somebody who covers celebrity news, so I'm not going to make a habit out of making videos like this, because this is technically some of that. But 2 weeks ago, something happened that really made me think about this craziness of parasocial relationships. This is according to Insider. Swifties labeled disrespectful for swarming Jack Antonoff and Margaret Qualley's wedding. This shows how much I know about these people. I don't even know how to say her last name. Wedding rehearsal to catch a glimpse of Taylor Swift. This was insane. This was absolutely insane. I had just heard about this barely in passing, and then I looked into it because I was bored, and oh my goodness, if there was ever an example of how out of control parasocial relationships get, this was it. This was insanity on top of insanity on top of insanity. This was a peanut butter and insanity sandwich. This was absolutely crazy. And here's a still image from a video. This video is by Pop Culture News, credit to them, and then it's from the TikTok from Ali Lu Hu. Just want to make sure I give proper credit. And this is nuts. This is absolutely insane. This is in Long Island, I believe, or around the Long Island / New Jersey area. And this is I'm assuming this is private property, even though these are public roads, so they're in public roads. Then they're on the cusp of the property. Some of them are even on the balcony. I don't know if this is wedding attendees or if this is, if these are just crazy Taylor Swift fans. This is crazy. This is absolutely nuts. You only get to this point when you are worshiping a celebrity. You only get to this point when you're building an unhealthy parasocial relationship with somebody who you can't possibly hope to know. I don't care how many gossip rags you read, how many talk show interviews you watch or podcast interviews. You don't know a celebrity. You don't know Taylor Swift. You don't know Justin Bieber, the Jonas Brothers, Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, the Beatles, whatever celebrities throughout the years. People don't know them like they think they do. You can absolutely be a fan of somebody. Nobody's questioning that. But what people are questioning is when you start blocking off public roads and invading private property just so you can get a glimpse. They treat it like it's the second coming of Christ, where if they touch the hem of her dress, they're going to be healed of leprosy. Which is nuts. She's just a talented singer who happens to have good relations with her fans, who happens to be really generous towards their fans and build up a good repertoire with them, which is fine, which is good. But they're still a celebrity that you don't know. I've seen people lose their mind. You look at footage of her concerts and you see young kids going crazy. Oh my gosh, Taylor, oh my gosh, Taylor, I love you. It's just, you see that with kids and you think, okay, well that's just childish behavior. They're just having a once in a lifetime experience. Whatever excuse you can make for that, they'll grow out of that, and most people do. Then you start seeing adults acting like that. Okay, and they're getting older and older. It's absolutely ridiculous at that point, because you should know better. This is not, okay, this person is not your personal savior. You know, their music may have impacted you, stuff they said may have impacted you, fair enough, but they're not a deity. And you're not even respecting them by doing this. This was a private event. And you can see there's 2 squad cars here. There's one here, and I think there's a third one somewhere. They're blocking off this street, and there's nothing the police can do because there's not enough. And they've got all these people down here who are trying to get through. There's a person on a bicycle. I don't know if they're with the crowd or not. And I think some people were starting to say they saw the crowd and they left. Good on those people. They realized that this wasn't worth it. But there are people who stuck around for a good long while. I don't know how long they stuck around until police started getting out the stun guns and the pepper spray. I don't know if they called SWAT and then everybody just dispersed. But regardless, this is ridiculous. It's so inconsiderate of everybody who lives here. And they might think, oh, well, this is the Ritz. This is all rich people. What do they care? They're still people. They still have a right to privacy and a right to use the roads that their taxes pay for. They're paying more in taxes than you and I are. So they're arguably more entitled. And yet you're trying to cut them all off from this because Taylor Swift, because she's my Lord and Savior, unironically, which is truly, shameful. You know, as a Christian, I've got other feelings on that, but that's how some people treat Taylor Swift. They go above and beyond just, I'm a fan of this individual, and they go straight into stalker behavior. That's why people are calling this stalking, because that's what it has turned into. It's turned into stalking, which is absolutely absurd and obscene. I mean, this is insanity. There's no other way to put this. People who stood around and who got closer than they should have, who invaded private property, should be ashamed of themselves. Probably should have been arrested and kept in a jail cell for at least a day. Because this is a crime. This is borderline criminal behavior. And what if there was somebody genuinely insane in this group who decided to hurt people and to hurt Taylor Swift and to hurt other celebrities there? Oh, well, they've got security, they're fine. All it takes is somebody with a sharp object to rush, and that's it. Game over. Somebody with a concealed weapon, concealed gun. That's it. Game over. But none of these people were thinking about it. They were so overcome with the idea that they were going to get a glimpse, a close-up of their cherished celebrity. And that's what people find so disgusting about this. It's not that they're fans of the given celebrity. It's that they let their fandom of that celebrity go to a degree of spiritual worship, and they just bow down at the altar of whoever it is, to the point where this stuff happens. And this is embarrassing for the people who are trying to have a nice event. This is horribly embarrassing. They have to apologize, and the police have to apologize, and it's just terrible. And then, of course, this gets bigger and bigger because people just naturally get curious about what the heck is going on. You know, maybe some people are outside their house people gathering on their balconies going, what is all the noise? What is the crowd? I heard there was a wedding, but I didn't think it was like this. So it just gets more and more out of control as people get curious and the police get overwhelmed, and then it becomes a genuine safety hazard for everybody involved. This is a beautiful facility, by the way. I really like the architecture here, but that's kind of Long Island-esque stuff, sort of by the sea era. Nice place to have a wedding thing until, you know, half of New Jersey shows up. Half of Long Island and half of New Jersey just descend. People start coming out of the sewer lines and falling from these power lines, and they're all clamoring to see Taylor Swift. Some of them were camped out under this tree. Maybe they parked their car and slept overnight. Like, people are insane. You don't know this individual. You don't know anything about them. You just know what little they give you, and they're generous enough to do that. And you repay them by being insane and acting wildly inappropriate. Like, this isn't appropriate. This wouldn't even be appropriate at one of her shows. If she was in a private, like, say she was in a back private session talking to some people, and everybody just tried to muscle their way through, that wouldn't be appropriate either. So there's no circumstance under which this is acceptable. This was not an event of hers. This was not something that she put on for her fans, because if she did, it would have been twice as many people, and it would have been completely out of control. They would have had to have done it in a controlled environment. It would have been limited. You wonder why she might not do things like this in the future. This is why. She might be more hesitant to do anything with her fans in the future as a result of this, and she's done a lot for them. She's had people over to her houses. She's done all of the... I mean, she goes above and beyond for her fans, and that is commendable, regardless of how you feel about her. I don't feel too strongly one way or the other, because, again, I don't know her. I can form whatever opinions, but it doesn't mean that I know her as an individual. I can't form an opinion until I know her. But even she and the people involved don't deserve this. Nobody deserves this. This is out of control. So our culture needs a hard reset in some ways. It really does. This type of thing needs to stop, and it needs to stop yesterday, because this is ridiculous. Celebrities are not that important, guys. Enjoy what they do, but you don't know them, and you don't need to get a glimpse of them when they're in your vicinity. You know, this is craziness, okay? This is absolute craziness. Thank you very much for watching. This has been Super Cuba TV. I will see you guys in the next video. As always, God bless. Have a good one. Peace.